What's up, Nails? Today we're going to be going over the W221 Mercedes-Benz S-Class. So we have the S550 to my right, S600 to my left. We're going to be going over a comprehensive buyer's guide of what to look out for with these vehicles, the longevity of these vehicles, and preventive maintenance guide. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so we're going to start off first with the S550. This one here is an 07, finished off in Barolo Red Metallic with a whopping 58,000 original miles. So if you look at the front fascia here compared to the S600, you'll notice that the grills are slightly different. That's because this one's equipped with the Distronic Plus radar cruise control. This one has a regular cruise control, which is still fine. You don't really need a Distronic, and it's one less thing to break. Now, these cars were very, very much ahead of their time. Cars that are even 10 years newer than these don't even have the same features that these vehicles have. All right, so with this puppy here, we have the M275 5.5 liter V12 bi-turbo, which has been around the biz for the last 15 years. This is pretty much your baby Maybach. This platform is the same one that they used in the Maybach in the early 2000s with the 57, 57S, and the 62s. Problem with that is that the Maybachs have depreciated so much that you can literally pick them up for the price of a new Camry, which is laughable. And that's just because the parts are very hard to find, upkeep costs is a lot, and the dollar per mile is extremely high, which is why you can just pick them up for nothing. All right, so as most S600s come from the factory, they come fairly loaded. This one had an MSRP of $139,000 as equipped, which today you can pick up this car for 10% of that, which is extremely, extremely impressive. And the reason for that is that the upkeep cost of these cars is pretty high if you're not familiar and you're not a very handy person. So with these, you can either drive it like a peasant, or you can enjoy the rear back seats with a nice cigar like a boss. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be a peasant today. Let's retire the cigar. You hear the sound of that? That's the sound of money. So particularly pertaining to the S600 and S65 cars with the M275 engines, you really need to look at the coil packs which are located on each bank of the engine. This will be causing multiple misfires, poor running conditions, and whatnot. So particularly pertaining to the S600, M275 vehicles, also the S65, is the coil packs, which are located on both banks of the engine, bank 1 and bank 2. Those are notorious to go bad, something to look out for. If you know where you're getting your stuff at from, it shouldn't be that bad, but expect a 4-figure bill. These vehicles, as well as the S550, also has the ABC suspension, active body control, which is ran off the power steering supply. The ABC suspension also has 2 valve blocks, one in the back, one in the front. They're notorious to have corroded lines, so you gotta look at that. They also have lines that go into the struts, which corrode over time if you don't flush out the systems. Also pertaining to the V12s is they're very notorious for their alternators. These are old school water-cooled alternators. They're hard to find. If you do find one, you're gonna be spending around $1,200 to $2,000 for one. Just an alternator. You're not gonna get this from fucking CarQuest. Now going with the least complicated vehicle is the S550 with the M273 engine. This engine's been used for a variety of vehicles, including the GL550, CLK550, SL550, all the 550 platforms. This one here has the 7-speed automatic transmission. So if you notice here, you have a big fat empty hole. That's because this vehicle is not equipped with the Distronic Plus guided cruise control, as this one does, which is an infrared camera. So if you notice on the windshields, you have an infrared camera here on the S600, and none here on the 550. That could be a good and a bad thing. If you want to be Mr. Big Pimpin', you're going to get the infrared camera, but guess what? When you get a little rock chip on that windshield, it's going to cost you about $1,200. So with these big Berlin Autobahn Kings, they also have huge trunks. So if you just got done doing a GTA Mafia mission and you want to put some dead bodies in here, you can fit about 4. These are also equipped with a pneumatic pump, which will allow you to close the trunk automatically. These also come with a pneumatic system which controls all of the soft closing doors on the vehicle. So if you're lazy like me and you don't want to close your door, it'll just suck itself. I wish other things sucked themselves. So when it comes to features and all different kind of packages, these cars are pretty similar. So we're going to go over that in a POV video of both cars. Let's get to it. All right, so we're behind the wheel of this beautiful S600 Mystic White Designo edition with the iconic white porcelain interior with the 2-tone leather interior with the full leather dash, door panels, and the black piano wood finish, which is absolutely beautiful in this car. And with the wear and tear of this vehicle for the age that it is, I mean, it is in very, very top tier condition. You have your typical things that go on these cars, which is just, you know, the sticky buttons here, which you can clean it up with just some conditioner, not a big deal. The leather dash, like I was saying earlier, all the adhesive is there, it's all intact, there's no lifting or nothing like that. You even have the full Alcantara headliner, which has a beautiful panel roof that you can also control from the back. One touch, which does have the tinted, factory tinted glass there. Another thing that you'll notice in these cars is the double din windows for extra insulation compared to the regular 550s and the 63s, which is a plus. So I mean, it's really quiet inside of the car. Got the AC blasting, because as you can see, it's fucking 95 degrees out. So on this generation S-Class, everything is controlled by the on-command system, which is pretty much this mouse here. You also have your phone pad here, which typically depends on how the previous owners took care of the car. Sometimes the screw down here, which goes into the actual armrests, snaps with the plastic that just get dry rotted over time. So this is a very cool feature even till this day. I mean, if you think about it, back in the day, this is very far advanced. I mean, the older E64 and E65 7 Series had the foam pad that came out of the dash, which is also cool, but this is just way more practical. It's right there in front of your hands. You can control everything from here. You don't have to lean forward or put any extra effort. That's just me being a lazy fuck, but whatever. This car, you also have all of your seat controls. You have your full massage seats, which are actually functionable right now. They're not an asshole over here. So these seats, these front seats have bladders in them, which are pretty much like giant airbags that inflate and deflate. So they're also tied in with the steering angle sensor of the car, so as you're turning left or right, your bolsters will inflate and deflate, which is cool, so it keeps you in your seat. These seats are also equipped with the full massage capabilities, which, yes, it's not a full shiatsu massage, but you will get some relaxation out of it, especially in this Miami traffic that you just want to do a whole Burnout Unlimited video right in front of your eyes. But you know, you got your Fast and Vigorous and everything else. The best one is obviously the Fast and Vigorous, just lasts longer. That's what she said. As far as the audio is concerned with this vehicle, it's equipped with the Harman Kardon surround sound system, which sounds amazing. It's like your little home cinema, especially with the installation in this vehicle. And yes, the radio is kind of outdated. You're not going to have Bluetooth audio and whatnot, but you can look at some third-party options for that, which will definitely connect to Bluetooth audio. So another thing with these vehicles, mainly for the 550s, is that the camera was optional, since we are talking about a 15-year-old plus car. Now, if you look at the camera quality, it's not so bad. There's no distortion or anything like that. Over time, the cables that feed the camera will dry rot or whatnot, so you will probably have to solder some wires together, but nothing too crazy, nothing that the average Joe can't do. So with that being said, let's just go for a quick drive in this bad boy. So out on the road, this thing feels like the king of the road, man. Really and truly, you don't feel the age of the car that well. You still have all your creature comforts. You also have blind spot assist, which was a big thing back in the day, but it is equipped right there, as you can see on both sides. So as we mentioned earlier in the video about the active body control, this thing just takes bumps like nothing. So we're about to get on an on-ramp right now, so I'll show you guys how quick this thing gets up to speed and why the V12 is so notorious for being an Autobahn queen. It's really effortless, the power that the V12 puts down. And we have a truck here that we're gonna have to cut off because now I just f***ed up the whole f***ing drive. So yes, guys, we're stuck behind this pendejo truck driver, which is taking its sweet time, but don't worry, we got plenty of torque to go around this guy as soon as we get onto a straightaway and show you guys why this is the Autobahn king. Sometime today will be nice. effortless. I mean, effortless performance on these V12s. And you really feel like you're doing 40 miles an hour when we're clearly doing triple that. But nobody has to know about that. Alright guys, so in my honest, humble opinion, these W221 S-Classes offer so much bang for your buck that you'd be stupid not to buy one. Now, is it a perfect daily driver? Maybe not a 600. Maybe not a 600. Maybe a 550? Yes. I could definitely see people driving the 550s that have been well maintained, have a good solid service history, and driving those things up to 150, 200,000 miles without any issues. The 600s, if you're not driving a lot, you're driving maybe 20 miles a day, 30 miles a day, it could handle it. Now, if you're going to be stop and going, you're just going to put a lot more wear and tear on the V12s and other gizmos that these cars have, and it's just not really worth the hassle and headache that can come along with those problems. It's going to be very costly, and the upkeep cost could literally cost you as much as what the car is going to cost you from up front on the purchase acquisition cost. So I wouldn't recommend that. Now, if you want one of these for a weekend cruiser or take your wife out to dinner type of a car, or just be driven around with it, whatever you please, I think this offers a lot, especially for the money. So now we've gone over most of the features on the 600, we're going to hop into the S550, and you guys will see the massive difference that you get between this puppy and the little brother. Alright guys, so we're behind the wheel of the 550, the 600's little brother, and off the rip I can tell you that the experience behind the wheel of this car compared to the 600 is vastly different. Not saying that you're not going to feel special behind the wheel of a 550, but just the ambiance of the cabin and everything else, it just makes you feel like you're in a lesser tier, which is what the 600 is supposed to do. I mean, that's the big poppy car, right? As far as the features and creature comforts go, I mean, this one is not going to have the night vision. Honestly, it's not equipped from factory. You're not going to have the massage seats and the bolstering of the seats and all that. This is just a regular plain Jane interior, which at the same time, longevity wise, is going to be more reliable. I'll give it that credit. You can still control both the driver and the passenger, which is a cool feature that they had in these cars back then. So you can literally press that button right here and you can control all of the passenger settings for the seat, which is practical, especially if you're picking up kids from school or whatever. You can move the seat as you wish. The installation on this car is still above the standard installation of any other car, but you're not going to have the double din glass like you have on a 600, so you're going to be exposed to a bit more outdoor noise, but fuck it, it's all good. This one only has a whopping 57,852 miles on it, so yes, it is low mileage. It doesn't mean that you should not ignore the basic maintenance of the vehicle, so as parts wear and tear with time. So things to look out for obviously will be engine mounts, transmission mounts, transmission service, regular routine oil services, intervals. Spark plugs should be due around this mileage. I would recommend it. And just a couple other electrical things. I mean, this one doesn't have the rear view camera. I'll show you that right now. So you actually need to drive this car and actually use your mirrors, unlike today's newer cars where people just, their IQ levels get lower and lower as the day goes by, but that's all good. Generally speaking, on these 550s, you have a couple different interior options. This one's equipped with the black Napa leather interior, which is nice, simple, and clean. Stays clean over time. You do have the choice of getting the Savannah brown interior, as well as the launch edition, which comes with a two-tone cream and black, which is also a nice touch. It's like a premature Designo interior. So with this being just the regular V8, it's not going to have that much of a punch as a V12, obviously, but it'll still get you up and going. Let's just get up to speed here, and you guys can see the difference between the V12 and the V8. Still gonna get up and going, just not gonna do it in the same manner of the V12. So as you guys can see on the steering wheel here, all the buttons all the glue is intact. It's pretty crystal clear. There's no discoloration of the dials or the buttons or anything like that. Everything's nice and clean. You have a nice stitched airbag on the center. You have your beautiful analog clock, which I believe IWC was behind this clock in particular. So overall, guys, I mean, the 550 is still a great platform. There's no hate on it at all. I think these are still fabulous cars, exceptional value for money, and this will definitely be a better daily driver over the 600 in my opinion. If you want to go big baller status and spoil yourself, then by all means get the V12. Just make sure it's been well kept and serviced and you'll be fine. But this still offers a lot, and there's plenty on the market. You just got to find one, and this one in particular is going to be offered for sale on Cars and Bids with a very low reserve. So good luck to all participants and bidders. All right, guys, so that pretty much sums it up on today's video on the S550 and the S600. Both of these vehicles will be exclusively for sale on Cars and Bids, so feel free to check out the link in the description below. Please give us a like, follow, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a shout out at SAB of Miami Sales on Instagram. Peace.